It's strange how a single phone call can rip your entire life apart. I was in my small apartment in Melbourne, sipping coffee and scrolling through emails, when my phone lit up with a name I hadn't seen in years, Mark Reynolds. Mark was my college roommate back in the UK, the kind of guy who could make friends in a crowded elevator and somehow charm his way out of any trouble. We'd lost touch after graduation, mostly because life pulled us in different directions, him into finance, me into freelance journalism. I almost didn't answer. Almost. The voice on the other end was nothing like the Mark I remembered. It was trembling, shallow. "Mate, they're going to kill me." I sat up straight. "Mark, what are you talking about?" He gave a short, nervous laugh. "I can't say much. Just check your email in 10 minutes. And if you don't hear from me by tomorrow, tell someone. Anyone." The line went dead. At first, I thought it was some elaborate prank. But 10 minutes later, my inbox pinged. There it was, an email from Mark with a single attachment. The subject line read, "If you're reading this, I'm probably gone." My pulse was pounding as I opened the file. Inside was a labyrinth of documents, spreadsheets, offshore bank account records, and internal memos from a multinational energy company called Globe Core International, a company I knew had deep ties in America, the UK, and Australia. I'd seen their name in headlines before, usually wrapped in words like sustainability and innovation, but these files told a different story. Environmental destruction, bribery of government officials, and cover-ups that spanned 3 continents. I didn't know it yet, but I had just become the only person holding the evidence to take down one of the most powerful corporations in the world. And someone, somewhere, was willing to make sure I never lived to share it. That night, I barely slept. Every creak in the hallway made me tense. Every car that slowed outside my window sent a chill up my spine. My journalist instincts told me 2 things. First, that Mark was in real trouble, and second, now, so was I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing again. But this time, it wasn't Mark. The screen flashed. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Mr. Carter," a smooth voice said, "you have something that doesn't belong to you." I froze. "Who is this?" "That's not important. What's important is that you delete everything you received last night, permanently, and don't think about going to the police unless you want your life to end before lunchtime." The call ended before I could respond. My hands were shaking, but my mind was racing. If these people had my number, they probably knew where I lived. I checked my email again. Mark hadn't written back. My gut told me he was already gone. And if that was true, then I was the last link to his evidence. I didn't have the luxury of fear anymore. I grabbed my laptop, stuffed it into my backpack, and left my apartment. The city streets were loud and crowded, perfect for disappearing into. But every time I glanced over my shoulder, I thought I saw the same black sedan trailing me. I ducked into a small cafe and took a seat near the back, where I could see both the entrance and the street. From there, I started going through Mark's files. The more I read, the sicker I felt. Globe Core International had been falsifying safety reports for oil drilling projects off the coast of Australia, hiding massive spills near Alaska. Here's part 3 of the story, keeping the same clean, tense, and first-person style, with a powerful conclusion. I didn't have much time. The more I pieced together from the files, the clearer it became. This wasn't just corporate greed. People had died because of these cover-ups. Fishermen in Alaska had lost their livelihoods. Coastal towns were dealing with poisoned water, and thousands of families in Australia were sick from toxins no one admitted were there. And now, I was the one holding the proof. I left the cafe and headed toward the train station, but before I reached it, the black sedan pulled up across the street. 2 men in suits stepped out, scanning the crowd. My pulse went wild. I slipped into an alley and kept moving until I found a service door propped open at the back of a hotel. Inside, I made my way to the lobby, pretending to be a guest. I needed a safe place to upload the files, somewhere I couldn't be traced. That's when I Remembered an old contact, a journalist named Lisa Barrett in London. She'd once told me, "If you ever stumble onto something world-changing, call me first." I ducked into the hotel's business center, plugged in my laptop, and started the upload to Lisa's secure server. Every second felt like an hour. The progress bar crawled forward 10%, 20%, 35%. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. Then I heard footsteps behind me. "Mr. Carter," a deep voice said. "Step away from the computer." I didn't look back. The upload hit 90%, and I knew I had one chance. I slammed the enter key, sending the files instantly. At the same moment, a hand gripped my shoulder hard. "Too late," I said, turning to face him. "It's already out there." They dragged me out of the hotel, but the fight was over. Lisa called me 3 days later. The story had gone global, front pages in the US, UK, and Australia. The CEO resigned in disgrace, and the company was under criminal investigation. Mark was never found, but I like to believe he knew we won. And me? I learned that sometimes the smallest voice, the smallest person, can bring down a giant if they're willing to take the risk